Hey friends, I thought today we would make a very pop art inspired Statue of Liberty, right? Because the Statue of Liberty was a gift given to the United States once we gained our freedom, right, from England. So it was given to the United States from France as a token of our freedom. And so I thought it would be the most perfect red, white, and blue painting to do to celebrate these holidays, okay? So you are going to need, oh, there it is, probably just 3 different brushes today. We'll do medium pointy, baby, and medium flat. And then, of course, I have my napkins, I have my paint plate, I have my water cup, not your favorite cup because it will stain. And then I have all of my paints that came in the kit. And I have a paint plate that I have been using today to do paintings. I try to reuse my plate as much as I can until I just can't anymore, and then I toss it. So there's really no wrong way to do this. This is really however you want to do it, okay? So with that being said, I'm going to be doing chunks of red, chunks of white, chunks of blue as base coats, and then I'm going to go back and add in some details, okay? So let's get started let's start with our medium flat brush, and I'm going to grab me a chunk of white. I always have the most, that's the color I have the most of on my plate typically, is the white. Then we will grab a chunk of red. If it bothers you to mix your colors, then definitely clean your brush in between each color. Ooh, I should have refilled my blue, huh? Chunk of blue, and that's it. Red, white, and blue. Okay, of course if you want to add other colors in there you can. Now in order to clean your brush, you are going to dip and it becomes a ballerina, and you smush and swirl in the bottom of your cup and kind of scrape that brush on the inside of the cup to get it off the off the edges, and then we wipe, wipe, wipe. Okay, the next step is super duper important. You have to dry your brush every single time you wash it. Okay, I know it seems silly, but I'm going to paint all my white areas white first, just because. So I'm basically gonna make my background it's going to start white, but it is not going to stay white. Okay, so we get all of these background chunks. Anywhere that you think you might want the background to be white, and then you want to do either a red design or a blue design on top, then go for it. Okay. And this is her arm where she holds the torch. So that's gonna be different. Okay. And I might make part of her face white. And yes, I did just paint right over those Sharpie lines. But you can still see them. See? Okay. So one thing to remember is the white layer doesn't matter to be perfect. Okay, I am smoothing it out though because I don't want it to be too thick or it'll take forever to dry. It doesn't have to be perfect because because it's white. We're gonna paint stuff over it anyway. Nobody's ever gonna know. Okay. All right, so now while I have the white in my brush, I am going to grab me a chunk of white and I am going to put it right here and mix some blue in with it. So this way I can have a light blue. And I might do part of her face light blue, just like that. There we go. Oh yeah. Okay, I promise I can still see the Sharpie line. It's all good. And then I might do some light blue on this chunk of her hair. So again, this is very pop art style. You do you. You do it how you want to. Definitely don't have to be so crazy. Typically, the Statue of Liberty is green. So if you want to stick with the green, go for it. There's nothing wrong with that. Now I do like to paint my edges. So I'll bring the color over to the edge. And I'll even paint the bottom. If you're painting flat, go ahead and paint your bottom, and then you can just keep going about your business. If you're painting vertical like I am, after you paint the bottom, you may want to turn it like sideways or upside down so that it can dry a little bit, if you don't want it to be messed up. But I'm okay if it messes up a little bit. No big deal. Okay, and then, I'm kind of scared to use this big guy. You know what? I'm going to continue with this half of her face. This is kind of reminds me a little bit even of Picasso. It reminds me a little bit of Romero Brito, another artist. Definitely reminds me of pop art. Okay, I am going to do, so I did left side, right side. I think I'll do some left side, but I'm switching to my medium pointy brush just because I don't want to get out of the lines since it is a smaller space. Now, if you want to cover up your black, fine. If you want to try to leave the Sharpie lines, that's great too. I will say it's next to impossible to not paint on them. So if you do get a little bit of paint on them, don't worry about it. Your kit came with a Sharpie. So after this is 100% dry, you can go back and re-Sharpie your Sharpie lines. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. There we go. And let's see if I can scrape enough for one more. Why not? I think I can scrape enough. There we go. And I could go ahead and carry the color all the way over to the top, or you can just leave it like that. Okay, so now I'm going to make just a little bit more of this light blue because I'm going to want to add some layers here in a little bit. So while my brush still has blue in it, I'll go ahead and make some more of that. I think it was a little bit darker. Whoop, probably not that much. There we go. Okay, and then I can go back to that in a minute. Okay, so now I am going to clean this out. There we go. And I am going to work on some red chunks. I guess I need to clean this guy out as well, don't I? And some dark blue chunks. Okay, so red. Might do this one red. There we go. And if I turn my brush sideways, I can make it a little skinnier. There we go. One thing to remember though, just because I do mine a certain way does not mean you have to. And I know I keep saying that, but it's really, really important that you understand that, okay? Just because I do mine a way doesn't mean you have to. Whew. If you don't trust yourself with the bigger brush, then definitely use the smaller brush. Like I am getting out of the lines, aren't I? clean that up. Okay. And, I feel like I need to do this shoulder red as well. Follow the curve, nice long brush strokes from one edge to another. Anytime you can outline and then follow a curve, the better. There we go. Oh, my doggy is going crazy, guys. I don't know if you can hear him or not. That would be Biggie, the boy dog. He thinks he hears something, so he's going a little nutso, but that's okay. Okay, so now, I think I'll wait. If my white is still wet and I try to put red on top, I will make pink. So I don't want to do that yet. I'll go straight into my blue, my dark blue. What if we put some dark blue here? Like that. And then we put some dark blue here. There we go. It's like she's got some dark blue bangs, right? And we could make this part dark blue, so we outline, 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 and then we fill in from one edge to the other, to the other, to the other, and then I'm thinking, I'm deep in thought. What if we give this side blue polka dots, and it might take 2 layers of blue to be dark enough, right? And then we could even make darker blue if you want to by mixing blue and black. We might make some of that here in just a minute. Maybe do a little partial circle there, circle there, circle right there on the edge. There we go. There. Okay. Then on this side, we might do some vertical stripes. Vertical stripe. The softer you push your brush to the canvas, the thinner your brush stroke will be. The harder you push your brush, the thicker the brush stroke will be. And maybe this one has some diagonals. And if you don't trust yourself with the big guy or this medium guy, then switch to one of your smaller brushes to do the smaller lines, right? Right. Okay. Now, what if over here, is it dry? Yeah. What if over here we also do blue polka dots? And you could make them different sizes. Circle, spiral in, circle. Go. Maybe a little one right over her shoulder. So it's supposed to just look like a major red, white, and blue explosion, right? Okay, I'm gonna put another layer. Oh, if it'll let me. Real soft, barely touch your brush to the canvas, and you can lay some wet paint on top of wet paint. Barely, barely. There we go. Feel like that could use another layer. There we go. So when I was a kid, I actually got to go to the Statue of Liberty and go up in her crown and look out the windows up there. So cool. I have family that lives in New York, and my dad and my grandma are actually from New Jersey. My grandma will bust out her accent every now and then. You guys. She says that one a lot. Okay. Oh, and right here, huh? Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Oh, up here too, huh? So the trick to putting wet on wet is barely touch your brush to the canvas and kind of use the side of the bristles instead of the tip. Okay? Okay. Let's clean this off. And let's get some dum-de-dum-dum, I'm thinking. Let's do some light blue. I could do some light blue spots up here. When my sister was younger and my parents had just moved into their new house, my sister is 13 years younger than me, guys, so that is a lot younger. And my parents moved into a new house, and she still lived at home. I was already moved out by then. She wanted to totally make over her new room because it was a new room, right? Because it was in a new house. And we painted the whole ceiling with polka dots. The whole ceiling. We were crazy. It was hard work too, I'll tell you what. Okay, I might do some curved stripes right there. So all these extra little details that we're adding on kind of remind me of Zentangles, which is a, we'll do curved on this side, which are like lines and designs that fill a space in a very interesting way. Maybe over here we might do line, 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 line. Kind of like, looks like confetti. Like that? Is that kind of fun? Ta-da! Ta-da, ta-da! Okay. And maybe baby, we need, what if we did with our little brush, we did some spirals. Spirals are fun. They start like circles, but get smaller, or start small and get big, and they can fill a space. I actually love spirals. They're my favorite line to teach at school. And then maybe over here, oh wait, I think I'm going to do red over here. Maybe over here I do some zigzag. So diagonal, 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 diagonal. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Then let's do curve, curve, curve. Right there. Okay, clean this up. Let's do we did those kind of lines over there. What if we do the same thing, but on this side, or similar at least? I had too much paint on my brush and it left a glob. Oh my goodness. Making a mess everywhere, aren't I, guys? Okay, that's okay though. And kind of make these look like little hearts. Diagonal, diagonal, sort of looks like a heart. See? Kind of, sort of. Okay. And then maybe right here we do some more polka dots, circle, fill in. And I am using my baby brush, but you could use your medium brush, whichever you want. Little polka dot, little polka dot. We'll do one more little one right here. It's hard right there on that corner, huh? One more right there. Okay, and then over here, we could do vertical vertical zigzag, right? So it's just diagonal left, diagonal right, diagonal left, diagonal right, all the way down, or until you run into something. Just like that. There we go. And what if we did a red cheek on that side? So we have a blue cheek on the other side. And of course the little lips should be red. Paint those little lips red. Okay, and why not, with my medium pointy brush, I could do like a red or a white heart. Oop, my red's still wet. I thought that would be dry. So you just kind of wipe it off on your napkin if something's still too wet. And we could do some white curve line, and we could do there we go, and we could do we did diagonals on that one, so we could do diagonals on that one. We could leave those two plain. We could do U, S, A. I need my baby brush, don't I? And that blue's still kind of wet. That's okay though. U-S-A, U-S-A, U-S-A. Because we are proud to be Americans. Makes me think of that song. And I'm proud to be an American. Now it's going to be in your head, huh? There we go. That's kind of fun. Do a little heart in between. Little heart. Little heart. So you just do a diagonal and a diagonal to make a heart. Okay. So then what we do is we let this dry. So you can get a blow dryer if you want. Just completely let it dry. And then go back and I want you to trace every one of those Sharpie lines with that permanent marker that you have in your kit, okay? Trace all those Sharpie lines and it's just gonna bam, stand out and look really, really, really nice. I promise you're gonna love it if you go back with the black Sharpie, slowly clean up and retrace every single black line, okay? So I will show you what that looks like here shortly, but I've got to let this dry, so I'll see you in a minute, okay? Okay, friends, so see, I got it all outlined, and basically you're going to go everywhere that there was already a Sharpie line on there, and you are going to trace right on top of that Sharpie line that was already there, so that we can see it again. Because the cool thing is Sharpie works on top of dry paint. It absolutely does not work on wet paint. So don't even try to use it on the wet paint because it won't work, I promise. Okay, so we'll do that. And you just get every line retraced. Just like that. So when you're finished, it has a nice, bold outline, plus it cleans up all the edges. OMG. Look how sweet that looks. Very, very pop art. Very, very pop art, my friends, and I love Lady Liberty. So, thank you guys for sticking with it. Thanks for being creative. Thanks for adding your lines and your shapes and your designs. You could have had as much fun with that as you wanted or kept it as simple as you wanted. Remember, there is such a thing as overdoing, though. So, thank you guys for hanging out with me. And remember, if you have oopsies after it's completely dry, you can go back and do some touch-ups. No big deal. Right, guys? Thanks so much. And, of course, post pictures so I can see what you created. And I cannot wait to do some more art with you. Thanks for hanging out, guys.